Hey guys, it's Kelsey, and I'm playing along with the Back to the Future hop today. I am super excited. This was a really fun challenge set out by some ladies, so make sure you check the rest of them out in the description. I am using an inspiration for this one. It is the Folded Over Challenge from the Scraptacular Cropping Club. These guys have weekly challenges. I have not played along with them in a very long time, and I'm very sad about it because I love their challenges, and I used to play along every single week. And I happened to see this one, and I was like, it's time to get back into it. I love this challenge. There was one particular layout in the inspiration photos that I was really drawn to, and it just clicked in my brain. I was like, oh, Back to the Future. Like, we could kind of take that challenge however we wanted. You could do it conceptually, literally, but it was really open to interpretate like this hop and this challenge, like interpret it any way you wanted. And when I saw this layout that I am scrap lifting pretty much, I was like, hey, I'm folding over the paper and I can see the front and the back of the paper. And I just thought that was so much fun. So that's how I'm taking this challenge. I can't wait to see what everyone else does with it. I feel like there might be some really cool layouts about the past or maybe the future, and maybe some literal ones about the movie. I don't know. I can't wait to see what the other ladies do, but that's how I decided to take this challenge. So I picked out this one paper that I was going to fold this corner over and have them be the main design of this page, and then I'm deciding to back it on this green solid, but I had forgotten that I'd already trimmed off the bottom portion of this solid for the other side, which is the aqua, for my previous page that I had made with this collection. So I had to improvise a little bit to make up the difference of what I had trimmed off, because I really wanted this green paper to be my 12 by 12 background behind this gray paper. So you can see I'm having to trim it a little bit. I'm matting, or I'm inking all the edges in black. I thought that would be a really nice touch. So I'm just trying to get everything inked, and then you'll see kind of how I need to glue this background together to make up for the fact that I forgot that this was not a 12 by 12 paper. But I'm definitely trying to gut still, because we're in the beginning of this month. I love this collection, and I love these particular papers, so I want to make sure I save what I can for future pages. But I loved this base of having this gray, and it's actually a green and white linen pattern matted in this green solid. I thought was such a pretty background to start with. I have that photo there of Billy, which was from, I think, February of this year. It was the first time it snowed. It may have been the only time it snowed this year. In Georgia. I can't remember how much snow we got, but I didn't think we got very much, and this was the one time it really stuck, where I could get a picture of Billy. So hardly any snow on the ground, but I wanted to make sure I captured it, and so having this very white and green color scheme I thought was the perfect choice. So I'm just gluing down my little hacked up frame here onto a scrap piece of this black paper, and then you can see me layering my main pattern over the top of that. You see the gap there of the frame, so I'm just knowing I'm going to have to find something to fill in that gap. Ideally, I mean, that's not what I wanted, but it's what I had to do if I wanted the green as the frame, which I really did. So I'm just going to glue the middle portion of my 12 by 12 down, and then I'll try and figure out that section. I have some scrap of the black ribbon that comes in the Felicity Jane collections, so I think I'm just going to use the black ribbon to fill in that gap. And then I'm just planning on that horizontal where your eye's looking from where that ribbon will be, there being some sort of focal point within the layout that kind of lines up with that, so it doesn't look so distracting. So we'll see how that ends up planning out, but that's really the only choice I had if I was determined to use this color. So I'm just gluing this ribbon across that gap, and now I will glue down the main portion. But I loved the inspiration photo of this idea. They had this folded over corner, and they had a bunch of things tucked in there, and I thought it was like such a beautiful design that I'm really trying to copy what they did. I'm going to fill in this portion with another scrap of black just so it lines up with the corners of this linen print, because right now it looks very distracting with that corner being set more inside of the frame than where the gray paper is. So I'm just going to add this black corner so I can build from there, and I think that'll help everything line up a lot better. But yeah, that's as far as I've gotten. I know I have this pocket card that is in that green color as well that says family, so I really wanted to be sure to use that. But I loved the idea of having this monochromatic layout with this green color. I thought it was such a pretty color. I really wanted to emphasize it. I did pull out a couple pink things. I really loved how the pink and this green looked together. But with my photo being what it is and how I started this layout, I really just wanted to stick with the greens and just throw in like black and whites as my other colors. But now that I have that corner glued down, my base is pretty much done here. I can start designing. I decided just to mat the photo a couple times. I started with a black mat just to pull that black into the middle of the page. And then I'm matting that again on vellum just so I had another light layer. But it just added another layery detail. I love the vellum. I still have some left over from last month, so I was happy to get another frame from it. And I love that you can see the patterns and the linen print behind the vellum on this mat. It's really subtle, but I really like that detail. And then once I got my photo double matted, I decided to turn this pocket card into a long banner to run behind my photo. So I'm just using my black ink again to ink all of those edges, but I'm going to have that skinny strip peeking out of the top of the photo, and then I'm going to trim the family portion into a banner, and that's going to be coming out of the bottom of the photo. So together it looks like it's a nice big banner that runs behind it. And I'm offsetting it a little bit. I didn't want it symmetrical. I'm planning on having a couple more layers to the left of the photo, just so it feels grounded on that side, and then it's more open going into the middle of the page, because I know I'm going to have a lot of layers in this bottom right hand corner where I have this little peekaboo folded over corner, which I love. I thought that was such a cool idea. This challenge, as soon as I saw this challenge, is like, I have to do that one. It is so me. And I say it's so me because I love it so much, but I don't think I've ever done something like this before, so very excited about that. There I am trying to change this channel on the TV downstairs. Sorry about that. I do have that black and white gingham you see to the left there. What am I doing? Oh, there's another pocket card. I forgot I did this at this moment, but there's another pocket card. It's just white and it has a typewriter font on it. It says "so much to be grateful for." I thought it would be really nice if I trimmed that sentiment into strips and then I stapled it to the photo. I thought that would be really fun. I don't do that often. I have my tiny attacher and I love when I use it, but I just don't that often. So I thought it would be a fun chance to throw in some silver, especially because I am doing this more monochromatic with the gray. I thought silver would be really cool. So I'm just getting those glued down. I'm going to glue them to the photo so they stay put, but I will go in with my tiny attacher and staple the ends so it looks like they're stapled down, but I think that looks really cute. But that gingham, what I was saying, that black and white gingham to the left there is a scrap that I gutted from the Halloween page that I did. The B-side is that orange and white stripe, but I really thought that this black and white gingham would also be a really nice layer, and it was the only scrap I had at the time from this collection because I had only done one page prior to this one. So that's what I'm also thinking, and that'll help pull in some more black and white, which will be nice because it won't distract from the green. But just going in with my tiny attacher, I love that detail of the staples. And I just like how that's lining up. But because the green banner is offset, which is what I wanted, it looks a little weird plain like this. So that's why I decided to go in again and add a second banner behind the green banner. That kind of makes it look more intentional. I think I was trying to figure out at first what to do in the bottom right hand corner, but then I had an idea. Oh, you guys watch this. You guys know what this is? I ordered this off of Amazon because I was thinking it would be a fun detail to add to my wedding invitations, but then I was like, oh, I could use it for scrapbooking. So this is a wax sealing set. I am not confident this will last long term. I don't know how wax does in scrapbooking. It's just wax. So I imagine if this album gets hot or something, sits in the trunk of a car, I feel like this wax would melt on my page, But I don't intend on this being anywhere hot. It's going to be in my house for the foreseeable future. So I'm just going to try it. And if it all goes wrong, I'll let you guys know in the future. But I just wanted to really try doing this wax sealing set. So I took 3 silver pearls and 1 black wax pearl, melted it together in that little pot, poured it on a scrap piece of plastic. Now I'm just using a little cooling pack that sits in the fridge to help cool the wax down so it's more solid when I peel it off. But I just thought that was so much fun. I ordered a separate seal for my wedding, but this tree seal came, like the stamp came with this set. So I just decided that would be more appropriate than the one I'd ordered for my wedding invitations for this page because it's just a tree. But I think that's such a cool detail. Since I did decide to do the staples, I figured having some silver in this little wax seal stamp would emphasize that metallic shine. And I think that's so much fun that I just love doing that for one. It's just a fun process. So I wanted to try it on at least one scrapbook page. I don't know if I'll do that again. I really want to do it again, but like I said, I'm not quite sure how safe that is for your pages to have wax on your page because, like I said, if it gets hot, it can re-melt. So side note, but that was fun. At least you guys got to see it. And if it doesn't work out, at least it's on my page and not yours. So we'll see how it goes. But there I did. It just trimmed that gingham into a second banner. I did gut what was left over because that is a pretty bold pattern being a black and white gingham. So I figured if I had it on the left side of the page here, I would want that to be one of the layers I incorporated down in this bottom right-hand corner, just so that would be balanced across the page. So that's why I decided to gut that banner as well, excuse me. But I'm just going to glue that. I really like how that double banner looks, and now I feel like that's a nice nice layered area for the photo. It looks more complete to me now. I'm going to glue down this little wax seal in the upper left-hand corner of the photo there where I had it. I think that looks so nice. And then I really do need to start working on this bottom right-hand corner. My inspiration photo had a couple 3x4 cards tucking in from the folded corner, and then it had some like tags and details going over the fold into the main portion of the page, and I just really liked how that looked, and so I'm really trying to get all of that together. Ooh, my power's back. That's great. I've had the power out this whole voiceover video from the hurricane, and my power just came back on, so sorry if you can hear all my appliances turning back on. But anyways, so I'm just trying to figure out this little corner. I really wanted to use this tag. It's a white grid. It's really hard to see. Maybe you can see in the close-ups, but the grid is actually that same green color. So I wanted to make sure to pull that in for the pop of the green. And then I have a couple of these. I have the black and white gingham. This scrap here is actually one of the scraps from the 6x6 Reagan paper that Kelly sent me from last month that I had left over. The B side is this really nice gray kind of sketchy diagonal. It's not really a plaid, but you can see what it is, and I thought that was a really nice, subtle, pretty layer that still goes with my color scheme, so I figured I could use the gingham in that as my 2 scraps from coming out of this pocket corner, and then the tag and this die cut word blessings to fold over the folded corner. So I'm just trying to figure out how that's all going to work. I'm looking at it though, and I just want more green over there. I love the green that this banner has with the photo, and I'm lacking that green over here in the corner. So I'm trying to figure out what I have, because that's pretty much the only green I have. Unless I was going to die cut or punch something from the scrap of the green paper that I had gutted from the frame of this page, I really don't have any other green from this collection. And I really didn't want to have to cut into that scrap, so I'm trying to figure out what to do there. But for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and glue down the layers that I know I do like. So I'm getting these 2 tucked under this fold. I have a black and white label from the die cuts too, so I'm trying to figure out, I want to use that as well, and I thought it would be nice to use it underneath the blessings word, but I kind of changed my mind. But I do want something in this tag, so I have some of that black and white gingham ribbon that Kelly sent me from last month, so I'm going to get some of that used up on this page. And again, I think that's really nice. It pulls in the pattern from that paper that I've already used. Just tying a little knot in it, but I think that looks really nice. So I don't really know what the title of this is because I have the family on the pocket card, but I also have the blessings on the die cut. So I think I'm just going to call it Family Blessings. But I just really like how the the die cuts flow across this page. I think it's so cool. But I did need to glue down that corner so it stays down, and then I'm going to have this tag folded over to the left so it kind of runs into the other portion of my design, and just layer up this blessings on top of that. I was really trying to use this label in that cluster as well, but I decided to go through my ephemera bits, and I found this little flare piece that is green. I haven't used flare in a while either. I love it. Most of my flare rusted, so I can't use it, but this is one of them that actually was good. So I'm going to have this on the label in this in that folded over section, just separate. And I love that because it makes more sense with the label, but it also pulls that color more into that area. So I think it's just what it needed, and I just love the winky face. I think it just adds some humor to the page because it can look very like serious when you're doing a monochromatic, especially if it does have a lot of black and white. So I think having this green winky face flare was just what my page needed. So I am just trying to figure out the backing because the adhesive foam that's on the back of the flare is not thick enough to actually touch the paper, so it was not sticking down. So I pulled that foam off and added one of my own foam dimensional dots, and now it is stuck down. But that section is pretty much done layer-wise. I really wanted to get one of these puffy border stickers on here because I didn't use one on the last page. And there's this really cute doodly black one. So I figured that's right on theme with the monochromatic theme. I thought it added a fun border to the right side of these photo layers. So I'm just layering that down. And then once I kind of see where my layers are going to sit, I'm decided to go back and gut this linen paper because there was quite a large piece that was going to be behind that, because I really want that paper to use on future layouts. So I just went behind it and trimmed that out. And now I will glue down these bannered sections. But after this, the layering is done, and I will just need to do some finishing touches. I do want some journaling on here. So I'm thinking I will journal in black down on that large grid tag because that tag has lines on it and it looks very open and plain how it is. I want something layered on top of it. But I figured if I just did my journaling there, it would fill in that space perfectly. So it just says, it does not snow very often here, so we get very excited when it does, Billy most of all. And then I just dated it February 2020. But I think that was the perfect little journaling spot. And then I do want to go in with some black Nuvo drops for my finishing touches. I really didn't feel like it needed too much. I really liked how open and airy this is, but there's so much little detail, and I love how that wax seal stamp looks. So here are the close-ups coming up here in a minute. Make sure you check out everyone else to see what they did for this hop. I feel like there's going to be a lot of really cool out-of-the-box thinking layouts this hop. So this was my take on Back to the Future, with showing the front and back of my paper as my design element. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.